Hey, I'm Kev Hillman, and welcome back to MXGP Pro, where Kev Hillman had a bit of a bumpy ride in Russia, and he's still an outsider in the title race. Can he claw himself closer to Jonas and the KTM at the top of the standings round Italy? So there goes Hillman in for his qualifying effort here in Italy around this sandy surface. Look how deep the ruts are already, and we're just in qualifying. Let's see if he can survive round here, just like he failed to do in Russia in both races. Even though he had the pace to be right up there and win both races, just did not work out for him, and so he's leaving himself quite a lot to do in the second half of this season. Almost 2 race wins back of Jonas, almost falling as well, so this qualifying effort won't be right up there. You know, as you can see, got lots of help in the corners. All the ruts everywhere. And you've got to make sure you're balancing the bike over these jumps. It's just about doing that. Of course, she doesn't look to be quick though. As you can see, our tour guide in front is just racing away from Hillman. Let's go into the right-hander, get into the second half of this lap. It's not taking the best lines, admittedly. Went a bit deep into that corner. He's keeping the gap similar though in front, but you can see this track very wide. Getting lots of undulation. We go for the final corner. It's going to be a 32. He's only in 5th. As it's Jonas at the top ahead of Seawer. Bogies in for a great job from the Dutchman ahead of Prado. And there's Hillman in 5th on his Kawasaki. So not too bad, but still almost a second off the pace, with Hunter Lawrence in 6th. Then Patriel, Leiber, Covington and Olsen rounds out the top 10 due to Husqvarna's. Right at the back is Zaragoza with home hero Trepepe in 21st. And Bernardini as well on the TM in 11th. So decent reward for Hillman, but it'll be a decent first race. So here's Hillman revving up at the start alongside Zaragoza on the outside, waiting for the gates to drop. As he tries to get underway. What was that? Doing a little wheelie as... or was that Jonas? Caught on the inside as Seawer gets the whole shot. Zaragoza gone down. Hillman in a Husqvarna Savage. Covington pushing Hillman into Olsen as he's into the top 5. Got Leiber in 3rd for the time being. We've got a Suzuki 1-2. Seawer ahead of Lawrence. Not bad at all. There's all Leiber giving him a little nudge, but now he's going to come under attack from the Husqvarna. Hillman going to go under attack on Hunter Lawrence as well. Wants to quickly side through this field. We've seen Jonas mess up at the start. Wants to try and take advantage, take the lead. Oh, he's gone wide. Shocking from Hillman. Finally makes the move. Makes a stupid mistake. You get out of the corners. The sandy surface track, you're saying, is how wide it is. It should be good for battling, especially if Covington does that. Look at that from the American. Hillman immediately back by. Some good battling on the opening of that. Let's see if they can sustain this for another 20 laps. Hillman takes the outside of the line again. He just can't get past this Australian on this opening lap. Oh, he's got the inside of the line now, heading into the final corner. And finally takes over second. Now he's just got Seawer to deal with. And then maybe he can put away into the distance like he tried to do in Russia, but failed. He's got the inside line on the Swiss rider. Just had enough of a gap there, but no, he's gearing the up and under. Doesn't quite work for the Suzuki though. So Hillman into the lead from last. And just over that. But this time, Jonas way down the field. This is great for his title rivals Covington, Olsen, Prado and Hillman. Well, I'll say Hillman. As I said, he's still on the outside looking in. This is a big chance to get into that championship window. Not if he hits the advertising boardings though. Don't worry, we've just got another 27.5 minutes of Hillman to survive. I'm sure he can on his sandy surface. This should suit him much better than the hard tracks we've had the previous couple rounds, such as in Russia and in France. It should be Hillman's track. It should suit him, should suit the Kawasaki, where he can slide the bike a bit more into the corners. You've seen how deep the ruts are in a couple of these corners, so he's got to watch out for that near the end of the race. But he's looking good. Under 1 minute 30 already. He really is trying to put away at the front on his third lap. He's already way ahead of Seawell, a couple of seconds. You see that gang battling for seconds. Weird not to see Jonas part of that though. Wonder where the Latvian is, how quickly he's making his way up the order. It's a long race. He could still maybe even get a top 5 out of all this. That's how good he is at the moment. How good the KTM is as well to some of the other bikes, such as the Yamaha, the Suzuki. Maybe not the Husqvarna. Maybe not the Kawasaki of Hillman. The other Kawasaki's definitely. Has Hillman taken some alternate lines there? Just kind of want to stay on the racing line around. As I said, there's some deep ruts there that could really catch you out. Especially over big jumps like that. Goes into right to the edge. Bike does not like that. They could really trap the rear wheel as well, trying to get the traction out of the corner. Could we just get stuck instead? Go uphill. Fantastic final corner, almost full throttle towards the line. Everyone backs up that foot, 29.9 with a mid 130. That's what we need, consistent pace from Hillman, like that. And that seems to be the pace of everyone behind, maybe being a 130. But he doesn't seem to be dropping them too much. You can see around half a second faster than Sue, I believe that is. Right at the back is the German. Someone trying to get around these tight corners. Maybe like a bit more of a faster flowing circuit, but the city circuit will do is not quite like the Netherlands that we visited earlier in the season, or even Argentina. But it says what you would expect in Italy. It's challenging, it's not as undulating as the circuit we visited earlier in the year, but still got its elevation changes. And it's great for racing, great for battling, as you saw in that opening lap. Going with a good acceleration out that corner. Needs that to happen a bit more. There you go, virtually full throttle through that final corner again, another 130.4. He's consistent, this lad. As we're almost coming to the end of the opening third of the race, where Hillman probably would have just wanted to establish himself in the top 5. Be challenging for the win, not be leading like this. This is better than he could have dreamt of last night before going to bed. Visualising that start, as he's got around 5-second lead, it looks like. As he's switching back, seeing that battle for second, which is still very close between a number of riders. There's like 4 of them, all grouped together. Landing for that jump could become a bit suspicious as the race goes on. And yeah, it is 4 riders behind. They're doing battle. So we've got the outside line. You can see in a couple of these corners just trying out that outside line for just to see how it is. Just to see when it gets a bit more rutty as the race goes on as well. See if you get good traction out of there. We love this bumpy section before the final corner. Oh, now we're with a 28.9. Maybe we need to use those lines more often then. Second quicker. You've been doing previously. Or maybe he's just at home now on this track. Just racing away like he did in Argentina. And in the Netherlands as well. The main thing that happened here was he survived the start. Well, Jonas didn't. You saw the likes of Bowie gears drop down the order instantly. Suzuki's always fast starting. Siwa and Antelant's getting right up there. And then same for the Husqvarnas from the edge of the top 10, battling for the podium immediately. So yeah, lots of big winners and losers from the opening corner, and that's kind of settled things already in this race from that first corner onwards. Kind of got the pattern set. Especially since Hillman's got past those Suzukis. Looking very comfortable in the lead, but then we thought that in Russia as well. It's all a bit wide. That's a bit too wide, that line. Let's go over the jumps, get it up into safe fifth now. And through the final corner, it drops to 28, then does a 30, mid 32 next that. Don't want to be too Jekyll and Hyde in that times, just want to be consistent. Aim for those 130s at least. Then pop him in the odd 29 or 28. Well, this circuit definitely not as challenging as I would say is Russia. Or the French track especially, definitely the most challenging circuit on the calendar. And somehow Hillman won there but didn't win in Russia. And it ended that streak as well of winning all those second motos as well. Done such a good job until last time out. Gaining back the points he lost in that first race. Now can he do a good job here of gaining back all the points he's lost in first race for the previous couple of rounds. Doing that at the moment. That's a bit sketchy, that corner. And you see, don't want to go too high into that right-hander. Oh, he's done it again. Been told to pick up his bike, Hillman. Just exploring the limits a bit too much at the beginning of this middle third of the race, where just wants to build this lead. Then hopefully in the final third he can just ease down. And there you go, a high 32 this time. Poor couple of laps from Hillman. At least you were playing a drinking game with ever saved so far. That's only one mistake, I believe. Poor Hillman. No mistakes in the first third. But the mistake-free race is still to come for Hillman. If it will ever come. I mean, it's probably the best chance, actually, getting into the lead early and just riding by himself. When a track as wide as this, not as intimidating as this, probably should have been. We still got to slip one mistake through the net. Hopefully it doesn't cascade like it did in Russia in the second half of this race. That's a sketchy landing. Surprised he got away with that. And it seems like that lead is consistent. I wouldn't say it's building, just consistent at the moment, because it's been going down the last couple of laps. Thanks to Hillman's erratic lines into this corner. There we go, that's a bit better. You can see all the riders he's got to lap as well on the inside. Massive gap to those riders already. There we go, back into the 130s. That's what we need to see, Hillman. Oh, we don't need to see that slide though. Asking a bit too much there of the bike. Trying to drift it into that first corner. Oh, and he's down. What? Did he just get caught in the mud there? And the sand on the outside? See, that's what happens when you get too wide into a couple of these corners. Just get caught up. No traction for the bike. And so drink. That is Hillman's second mistake. And the gap's coming down to around 5 seconds now. And it looked like it was going to reach 10. A couple of laps to go, but he's just had a poor section here, Hillman. Just needs to get back into that rhythm he had. He set that 28, and since then he's been poor. And he's lucky to still lead, frankly. But he built up a good cushion in those first 5 laps. As we approach the halfway mark of this race. Oh, again. Suspension's maybe too soft around here. I think that's what's happening. Some of these land is just pushing that bike wide. Well, suspension's too stiff then, isn't it? He needs to stiffen up slightly as he tries to drift through the final corner. Back into the 32s. That's 3 of the last 4 laps in the 32s. I mean, that's good if you want a top 10, but if you want to win the race, you've got to be in those 30s. And then it's like the battle for second is separated. Looks like it's now a battle for third between a couple of riders, but second's pulled away from them. So we go across the line, go to midfield. Already around 30 seconds behind Hillman. And the good thing about this course as well, I don't have to use that rear brake too much like we've been using around the hard track surfaces to help rip the rear end around occasionally. And if you do use it, the bike actually replicates and swings round a bit easier as on this surface. Crowd cheering as once again the bike just bunny hops there. Definitely maybe got to think of the speed carrying into corners. He's down again. What are you doing, Hillman? You don't chuck this away. That's his 4th mistake, isn't it? His 2nd fault. And again, he's dripped into the high 33s, virtue of 34 that lap. So whatever lead he's had, heading into the second half of this race has been obliterated thanks to himself. No, the lead's only a couple of seconds now when it should be approaching double figures. Should be roughly 10 seconds. Should be much more than that though. If he kept up the pace from those first 5 laps, he'd be leading by around 20 seconds instead of 2. He's just finding the going tough in this middle third. Just not getting in that rhythm, that flow that we talk about. Especially talked about in Supercross, but so important. The motocross bike, hitting those lines. Changing with the conditions. With the track surface, with the ruts. He's not doing that at all, Hillman. Again. I know that was better than that right hand. It didn't bunny hop forward. Oh, he's gone wide though. What's he doing? He's lost the lead to Olsen. Drink again. That's his 3rd crash and his 5th mistake. And now it's just careless. Just got caught on the outside. And now that lead, you can see he's around couple of seconds back. I was going to say 5 seconds, a bit of an exaggeration. No, again. Trying to get that bike through the first corner. It's just not working. Needs to calm down. We've got Prado behind. And so a golden chance for the championship could be slipping through Hillman's fingers here through his own incompetence. As he's behind Olsen. I think we've got Covington Lee. I think we've got Hasfana 1-2. It's whoa, what is that line? Why are you going so wide? Lucky for him, Olsen messed up.
Hillman back into second at least. Now he's got the leader 2 seconds ahead. Hopefully with riders around him he can actually focus now instead of daydreaming like he was. Oh, is that Prado in front? So is that Jonas in the top 5? No way. Behind. You can see Hillman got that line right. Much more cautious into that corner. Looks like it is the KTM leading. Hillman tries to go over the jumps, but it's not really going well. But he's back into the 30s, at least. So he's on the step to recovery. Now can he slot in a 29 or 28 to really gain on the leader? But in his middle third, it was all about extending the lead, but instead he's lost it. So his final third is all about getting back that lead and the victory. Not about easing off like the original plan. It's all once again taking a very wide line. And so that's a bit weird, breaking into the right hand. He kind of cut into the inside line and in the rear of the bike was like, nope, not having that. It's a bit of a weird line. Oh, he gets into the sign. What are you doing? I mean, they are good manufacturers. Oh, Moslas. Mossa, even. We're giving that much advertising. I mean, Parts Europe is going to be disappointed. And Fiat. And Monster. And Fox. FM and everyone. Just trying to cover all the bases, you know? It's past the KTM signs. Hillman chasing down the KTM with his Kawasaki again a bit wide. Only a 31. What disappointing that time. That's just matching the leader, it looks like. He needs to be in the 30s or 29s. At least he's got back in the rhythm. At least he's recovered, it looks like. See, with someone to chase down, he's a bit more focused now in this final third, is Hillman. But surely he can't check away another victory. It'd be the third in a row he's chucked away. You cannot afford to do that in the championship. But it'd be so much like his season if he did. He is gaining on this lap though. Close behind. I think that's Prado in front, but it could be Jonas. Haven't got a clear number. Clear picture of that number just yet. So we've got to take that outside the line. Look at that. That's a great acceleration out that corner. And over the bumps, and far away goes the KTM. But Hillman, low 30, that's more like it. That's what we want to see. And then see that actually is quicker. It actually has gained on the leader. So not quite in the 29s, but much better. As with 8 minutes to go, it's hotting up for the battle for the win. With Hillman around a second back. Maybe less than a second now. After some struggles in the middle part of this race, after a glorious beginning. He's recovered, and he's right on the back of, I think that it actually is Jonas in the lead. Despite all his issues, that thing was leading. It's recovered after that start. So maybe it was Prado who got pushed back at the start. It's all Hillman, bit too close to the bank. Oh, saves the bike. You can sniff the fumes coming off the back of that KTM. Maybe got to his head a bit. But he's right on the back of the KTM. Around 5 or 6 laps to go. And we cross the line. Not long left in this race. And there we go, another high 29, low 30. Definitely is quicker. And all over the back of Jonas, this is what we want to see, this fight for the championship, not just for the victory here. Because that's a bit weird. And that has cost Hillman around half a second as well. Crucial half a second. Because he's maybe looking at making the move like he did on Olsen into this right-hander, but not close enough to the KTM on this occasion. Maybe into the left. Oh, they get into each other. Jonas holds it. On this occasion, though. As Hillman lands on Jonas. Gives him some backache. That's one way to get past your opponent, injure them. In the sight from Hillman. Inadvertently. You know, wasn't malicious. Just for Jonas, he's a bit slow in that part. So here comes Hillman back. Down the inside, not quite. Jonas holds it. Over the jumps, Hillman gaining. Oh, he's having to take the wide line. Can he cut it back? He can cut it back. Oh no, he's been pushed by Jonas. Saves it. As he looks to the inside over the ruts from the start there. They are malicious. Kicking out that rear end, and with 5 minutes to go, elbows are out here in Italy. And this is just the first race. You've still got another one after this. And Jonas holding that lead. He's got, again, a bit of advantage there. Only a couple tenths this time. Hillman's closer on the previous lap, but still not close enough to make the move into the right hand. Oh, he's down! Oh, Hillman, you've chucked it away, son. You've chucked away the championship, maybe. You've chucked away the victory here. Again. 3rd race in a row, maybe, he's done it. He's got to push like a hell to catch up to Jonas. Lucky it's just a slow speed fall, so he could quickly get back on his bike. But look at the gap now. It's a few seconds. Hillman's got to be pushing at 28-29 pace again. Catch back up. But he hasn't shown that since those first few laps. So with around 4 laps to go. Maybe 5. A battle for the win just as it's hotting up. Hillman puts in a 33, so he's lost around 3 seconds at that. So he's around 3 to 4 seconds back. And see, using some different lines as well. Once again, the wheel just got caught in the sand. Too sandy for this Kawasaki. Well, this is a good first set to it. Looks like he's gained a bit. And Hillman's always good in the first set, so he gets into that corner again. It's mainly if he can just stick with Jonas in the second after that. That won't help. Bit all over the place. Because he's 2 seconds back. God, this is like Mexico all over again. Chasing down the leader in the last couple of laps. On that occasion it was Covington. On this occasion it's the championship leader, Jonas. Very different proposition as well on that KTM. Maybe level with the Husqvarna. Quality wise. Then Jonas maybe a slightly better rider than Covington. But there's Hillman with a mid-29 for the first time in around 15 laps. In around 25 minutes or 20 minutes. Since he set that 28. Just when he needs to set it as well. After the adversity. That previous lap of that full. And oh, look at that trick, and he's really trying. He knows. This is an opportunity to get back into that championship. He dives into the right hand and down the inside. Jonas takes the lead. Jonas dives back. Hillman trying to hold it round the outside. They're elbow to elbow over the jump. Over the next jump as well. Hillman takes it. He's back in the lead with just under 2 minutes to go. With 3 laps to go. Or 3.5 laps. Now, can he just keep it together? As he does so, Jonas breathing down his neck. But Hillman showing again, perhaps he's got the pace. But still not the overall package on his MX2 bike. Too many mistakes again. Must be 6 or 7 now. 7, I think it is. He sets another low 29. That's even with the pass. That just shows you. Just a couple of that's made up that gap and was decisive this time. Didn't dilly-dally behind. Just chucked it in there. No, and he's had no answer. No! He's been told to pick his bike up. What? What's the Italian official thinking of there? As Hillman dives a milli back by Jonas. And takes back that lead. That should be his anyway. So that's mistake number 8 if you're playing the drinking game. Your leader might be a bit knackered now. I apologise for that. But Hillman just wild again. Even though it looked like he's on track, as you do have 3 to go, so 2.5 laps to go then. Now can Hillman survive for 2.5 laps? Already one mistake, he's already had to grab back that lead. But he's good over this section at the end of the lap. Seems like the Kawasaki handles the bumps well, even though, as I said, the springs might be a bit too hard. Might need to make them softer. And even with the mistake, did a 32. Oh, that's been a 33, so it shows Hillman's elevated pace at the end of this race. With 2 to go, penultimate lap. And he's just got clean air in front. Surely he can't make another mistake. Can't be caught by the officials. He can just cruise to victory now. Hard part's done. This is just time trial. This is qualifying for Hillman now. Here we know it's a tough corner. Once again, the wheel trying to dig in. We haven't got a good exit. Very good exit. Very cautious, we say, over those jumps. He goes past the Husqvarna signs. Where are the Kawasaki signs? Don't see any of them around here. We'll look out for them. These last couple of laps. There's all Hillman taking the outside line. Missed the inside groove there. That was not good to do with a lap and a half to go. But he holds on. He gets up to 5th. It's a safe gear for his final corner. So he's getting that rear to drift slightly. There's a high 1 minute 30. But with a lap to go, this has been a battle for Hillman against himself at the start, making up all those positions, and then in the end against Jonas, against the championship leader, the favourite for the title. But for once, Hillman might have come out on top in the battle with him. and crucially taking back some points in the championship battle. Doesn't know he's going to be lapping anyone this race. That shows you how poor he's been. Normally you lap someone. But no, Hillman, way too many mistakes. And we've got Brian Sue in front in it, starting 21st. So went over the jump. And over the next jump. Just very low gear. Half of that to go for Hillman. Just that challenging penultimate corner, really. That left-hander. Misses that inside groove again in that corner, but doesn't matter. Kept it well around the outside, and here we go. This only corner where he can really mess it up. Uses the banking, gets a good exit. So over this little whoop section, or bouncy section, shall we say. So it's got one corner to go to slide the rear around. And across the line, Hillman wins the first motor in Italy. So Hillman wins the first motor. I haven't said that a lot this season, as he wins ahead of Jonas by a couple seconds in the end, with his teammate Prado rounding out the podium just a further 4 seconds back. Then you've got Olsen in 4th, Cummington in 5th, then Muse in 7th, making a has fun of 4, 5, 6. And then you've got the Yamaha in 7th, Patria ahead of the Suzukis of Stewart and Lawrence, the hot shot heroes. But unfortunately they dropped down in the race, with Leiber around at the top 10 ahead of home hero Bernardini, and Trepepe in 19th on his has Fano, with Zaragoza right at the back. So can Hillman repeat this in the second motor? He grabs 3 points back from Jonas. He needs a bit more than that in the second race. He needs some help from Prado, Olsen, Covington. Take some more points off Jonas and make this championship battle a bit more interesting. We'll see if we can do that next time. So, for watching, and I'll see you then.